In a studio at the Cité Internationale des Arts, behind a door that reads Haut Commissariat des Nations Unies pour les Réfugiés, a couple lie together, limbs entwined. Behind the couple is a view to the River Seine. They face each other, yet each one looks beyond the other. Their gaze falls over one another's shoulder. Focused on nothing, just looking into the air, they are enraptured with one another, yet so distanced from one another. She is an American woman living in France. He is Iraqi, travelling with a Lebanese laissez-passer.
I know about it. I know about war. Like you, I know about you. I love you. I know what you say to me with your eyes. I know what you desire. I know you.
You don't know. You know nothing about it. You don't know me just as I truly cannot know you.
I know about it. I've seen the reports. I've read the papers. I saw the photographs, the beautiful dry landscape, the yellow light, the blurry images of civilians with their draping, billowing fabric in the wind. I know about it. And I know you.
You know nothing about it. You do not know war. You do not know these places, like you cannot know me. You can't know me.
But I do. I know things. I saw the despicable photographs, too. I saw the dogs, the boxes, the hoods, the piles of limbs. I know about it. And I know you.
You don't know.
Yes, I do.
The couple continue to wrap their bodies together in different ways, continually in cadence with their words like a dance.
Then tell me. Tell me more of what you know. Tell me more of how you know.
I sit quietly and envision. I am consumed by this every day. I sit on the small carpet at the end of my bed. From there I see the dry desert, the dust and sand in the air. I feel the heat bearing down on my bones, the sun so bright in my eyes. I squint. Through the slit of my eyes, I try to see. The noise of the harsh ammunition makes my body contract with every shot. My heart offbeat. A tickle in my stomach. In another moment, the sound and light remind me of New Year. I have wept over the fate of all the people.
What is this? What would you have cried about? Is this some dream? Some collage of images you saw on the television inscribed in your mind as truth? We cannot know truth. Why do you speak like you know? We know nothing of it.
I have wept over the children. I see the children. I see them, all young boys, ripped pants, worn, faded t-shirts.
As she says this, he is clutching her body. We no longer see his fingertips that are lost in her flesh.
I see a woman running by wailing that high-pitched wail over and over. I see myself duck into a doorway to hide from it. I see myself covering my ears and hiding from the guilt. I know something.
You made it all up. You know nothing of this. You do know other things.
His hands loosen and begin caressing her again. He rolls on top of her as the couple laughs.
Just as in love, we will never forget this. How could I know this history was made to the size of love? How could I have known you were made to the size of my body? How sweet. You destroy me. You made me again. You.
Yes, me.
I know these parts of you, and they will stay with me even after our time here is done. I will remember forever. I will carry these moments like a bouquet of jewels through my life.
Laughter again.
You.
Yes, me. Tell me more.
Je regarde. Always alone, I watch. From that loneliness, my mind drifts and I daydream. Here in Paris, doesn't daydreaming come automatically without consciousness of it? It is just that sort of city, that sort of history, that sort of story.
Shots from the newsreels of the Sorbonne in 1968, crowded with people and police. Papers fly out through the windows like a celebratory rain of ideas.
It was a festival without beginning or end. I saw everyone and nothing. We were all lost in the same enormous, strolling crowd. I spoke to everyone without remembering either my own words or theirs, because all of our attention was absorbed at every step by new events and unexpected news.
I can't say how, but I felt I had been there. When I arrived in Paris, I walked alone along the cobblestone streets. I wandered the streets. I was not sure where I was, and I had no destination, but I searched nonetheless. I was like a dog because I was sniffing in the air for something, some evidence, some bit of dust or crumbled concrete. I studied the corners of buildings where such things might collect. In any corner kept there by the wind, saved there for me, only me. For me to one day pass by and find, to recognize, for me to feel closer to the experience, to feel, to bite, taste and ingest it, swallow it. A revolution, a manifesto, something. I came here to know. And you are here to forget? How did you come to be here?
I have not reached the possibility of memory, so to forget does not exist. Things have changed, as you said. It doesn't matter how I came to be here, or for how long I've known. I know. You must know some things too. You must know of the rhetoric, of the mistruths. There are strategies from that time that are impossibilities now.
I know. After my wanderings, I would return to my studio. I would lie in my bed and gaze at the view again, alone again. How can a moment be maintained without the threat of this compulsive amnesia?
There was the one night that effectively made for the end of it. If only we could have stayed in that moment before we took over that space with barricades. Because as soon as we blocked those intersections surrounding the Sorbonne, then our blissful utopic thoughts were tragically brought into a reality where they already do not exist. To occupy, you already allow for the end. Your end. When did you lose yourself?
I don't know. For some time, my visions were stronger. My days were consumed with watching and imagining, trying to get closer to it all until I no longer knew where I was. I was so consumed with these other spaces of war that I no longer had a normal daily life. I was under the illusion that I must never forget, just as in love. Day after day, I let this role consume my life. Were you there? Were you really there?
It doesn't matter if I was really there or not. My opinion and experience don't matter. They're there without being named.
But it does, you can, and it does. Like I now know, you do too. Where were you before Paris?
I was in Beirut. You've seen nothing of Paris. You saw it with the eyes of someone in love. What else do you think you know with your eyes?
The bookstalls. I will tell you about the bookstalls, and perhaps then you will understand. I walk and let my eyes get lost in the titles to see the sheer amount of books waiting to be opened, devoured. I absorb the knowledge through my eyes. I devour it, bite it, ingest it. I do this. I search for her titles, for her name. I walk the streets to her neighborhood, where she walked, where she met, where she lived.
Shot of an old woman walking through the Paris streets.
I've always been attracted to old women. I would study their faces, how their jowls hang on them, brought down over time. Their hair, at the line of their foreheads, thin, sparse, random hairs. Their long length, a sense of pride, representing wisdom somehow. I search for a kindness in their faces, in their eyes. A love that I knew from a woman. Unconditional. Does that ever really happen? During these days, I look for Duras in the faces of the old women of Paris, this strong woman who wrote from a place of complete vulnerability. Isn't she here? Can't I find some remnant of her soul, her mystery, her strength, her genius? Can I find her in you?
You search too much for too many things you cannot have. Just be here with me now. Here.
An empty black frame.
After you leave tomorrow, I will search the streets for you. I will look for you in every cafe, in every amorous couple, in every embrace and kiss. Je ne regrette rien.
Moi aussi. Je ne regrette rien.
Because of you, I've regained all sense of being alive. I had lost all senses some time ago without knowing. Now they are awakened because of you. I am awakened with smells that intoxicate me, touch that enraptures me, sounds that excite, tastes that I can't devour enough of. You.
I sense that I please you.
Oh, what power you command, such response you incite. Won't you stay with me here forever?
More laughter from the couple. Fade out.